Oh, okay, I guess we're going. I actually didn't mean to switch this to the scene. But yeah, what's up, Tony? Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back to working on implementing the colliders for Jolt. Um, Ended up being a bit later than planned, but we'll be going for what, 3 hours maybe? Is the plan. So the immutable compound shape is now functional. So I guess I should start creating the mutable one. So what do you think about my experiment? Well, it seems like it didn't go that well. But I think it's definitely an interesting experiment. Why? We store the type, so this doesn't need to be virtual. I just realized that. That's pointless. There, that's better. So we have the mutable compound shape, which we should also have a remove. It did the normal to me. Yes. So remove shape. Why no music? There we go. That's better. It's really annoying because for some reason OBS isn't updating the viewer count in the activity feed here. Let's try reloading. Yep, there we go. That fixed it. So under Jolt shapes now. Let's go ahead and add a mutable one. Oh. Mutable compound shape. Okay. So add shape is going to be pretty much the same kind of deal. Create will be very similar as well. It's going to be immutable. Which I guess has a different constructor. Yeah, it doesn't take the temporary allocator, I guess. Cool. Now, if I wanted to remove a shape, how would I do that? Do we have like a remove shape? Yes, we do. At an index. Okay. How do I get said index? Get subshape index from ID. This is the subshape ID for the subshape of the compound. I have no idea what this means. Let's not touch that right now. Let's not bother with destroying the shapes either. Right. So this is gonna be pretty much exactly the same as this, except it's a mutable one. Jolt, mutable compound shape. What's up, Marka? Yeah, we're back. I mean, we do the exact same things here. So maybe we should have like a general compound shape that has like the add shape as a virtual function. That way we just create either an immutable or a mutable one. Then we do this down here instead. It would reduce code duplication a lot, because we're gonna have to account for other colliders here as well. Also, I watched back the previous VOD after I ended the stream, and it does seem like my microphone settings aren't perfect, because it seemed like the microphone was cutting out every now and then when I was just speaking, so I'm gonna have to tweak those maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have a compound shape. Which will be a physics shape. I mean, effectively what I'm gonna have is just a duplicate of this, called just compound shape. Rate type. Well, we could have a column spool is immutable. Let's say if true, otherwise mutable. Add shape and create. it will also be defining remove shape. So those shouldn't need that. Tin spin. What's up? So how is Jolt panning out? It's coming along nicely. The song that's currently playing comes back around. It's on Epidemic Sound. And I actually quite like it, so I'm gonna favorite that. So I think my calculations just failed. Yeah, by the way, I would love to get it set up so that the current song that I'm playing on Epidemic Sound is kind of listed up in the corner, like around this area. I don't know how to do that though, but I'm gonna look into it. Doing 150 kilometers an hour at a half a throttle. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. But yeah, no, Jolt's actually proving to be really interesting. It definitely, I get the feeling that it's gonna be a lot more well optimized compared to physics. And we will also have to override remove shape, but that's simply gonna assert. Or maybe we just have it do nothing. But now I'm gonna assert. Anything you can show, or is it currently work in progress? I'm gonna be able to show you some just basic, some basic cubes falling and actually colliding, which they couldn't the last day that I streamed Jolt, which was I think last weekend. But I'm definitely gonna be showing you some stuff. Brazilian greetings, Peter. What's up? Mijo de tomate. That's probably not the correct pronunciation, but I tried. So it's just gonna be a compound shape. Shape. Which will start off as an opener. If it's immutable, you do that. If it's not, we assign it to be immutable. Then we get rid of this code duplication. We go through all of these, we add the shape, we create it. Shapes, add compound shape, get type. Alright, put back. I like that a lot more. Let's give it a shot. I just got here, what is Jolt? Yeah, it's a physics engine basically. Well, it's a physics simulation library. Tin's been posted the link, you can check it out. It was used in Horizon Forbidden West to simulate the physics in that game. It's open source and very, very cool. Yeah, it's really cool actually. I'm liking it so far. Tomato noodles. Okay, let's take a look. So if we check this is immutable, let's maybe make sure that still works. No, of course not. Why not? Because first shape is null pointer. It's an immutable compound shape, and compound need at least 2 subshapes. We don't have that? What? I'm gonna have to launch this in debug mode. But I think I'll possibly use Jolt for Lacona when I finish the first parts of Vertex. Yeah, I actually recommend doing it. If I had known about Jolt when I started, like, when I was going to do physics for Hazel, I would have gone with Jolt from the beginning instead of physics. Probably. How much difference is there between physics and Jolt's APIs? I mean, there are similarities. Obviously, the same kind of concept applies to both. But I actually prefer Jolt's API because you have to be a lot more explicit with what you want, right? So, for an example, in Jolt, if we go to Jolt API, like, we actually have to pre-allocate a bunch of memory that it can then use to actually store temporary values, right? And we have to do this beforehand. Although you can use one that basically uses malloc and free every time, but that's obviously not good because then you're constantly allocating tiny amounts of memory on the heap and destroying it, right? So you want to pre-allocate it. Physics, you don't do that. At least not as far as I know. But you have to be a lot more explicit with Jolt, which means that it can actually presumably achieve better performance. Also, I think it makes more sense because Jolt requires you, for example, if you're creating a rigid body in Jolt, you actually have to give it a physics collider shape when you create the actor, which makes a lot of sense. But in physics, you can just create an empty actor and never add any physics shapes to it, which makes a bit less sense to me. Okay, let's see what we get here. Compound collider entities is... What? That shouldn't be happening. Compound... Like, it should be getting deserialized. But it's not. That's weird. Let's go in here. I may have to write an explicit copy constructor. Whoa. Didn't like that. Let's give it a go. Physics test. What? Oh. I'm such a moron. I was using the wrong key. Let's go release mode. Because now it should work. I'm sorry. Okay. I was referencing the wrong thing there. Now we should be good. So this should be using an immutable compound shape. Yep. We can still go through and add shapes to it. Like that. Size 12. Nah. That doesn't look quite right. Well. Okay, I'm gonna quickly make it so we can actually list the entities in the properties panel so we can see which entities are getting read in. Or let's just do that's a C# array, not a C++ array. Fine, let's just do where am I? Okay, good. Let's try this. Just I just want to verify that we don't have like 12 references and that none of them make sense. It seemed to work, but I don't know that it actually worked properly. Physics test. You. Okay, now it is correct. Good. Now, if I mark this as not mutable. Or no, if I mark it as mutable. That seems to have worked. Yep, that works as well. Cool. Mutable and immutable compound shapes are now fully functional. Now, I could come in here and say create shapes for entity, collider entity. But that wouldn't quite work. Not the way I wanted to, at least. It would add them correctly to the M shapes one. Which I guess technically we do want, actually. Yeah. Because if we do this, then this rigid body will still store these guys. But it will also be stored in here. Which is exactly what I want, I think. Because if we go through and we do this, and then we come down here, and we say, look through all of the shapes in here, then logically speaking, we should have all the shapes we need. The only problem here is, what if this collider entity is equal to M entity? At that point we get stuck in an infinite loop. So what I could do here is add a little boolean, say ignore compound ignore compound shapes, which by default is false. So if this, and if we pause this check, so if that or ignore compound shapes, this is actually a bit more complicated. If I just do this, then we will never construct the collider on the current entity. Or rather, we won't construct colliders for the entity that has the compound collider because we bail out. Right? If this and not ignore, could definitely work, because then in here we can say ignore compound shapes. Going to be, if this is an entity, then we ignore it. I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure my gearing is wrong in the calculations, hence when it's getting to solar system. Beating SpaceX and NASA. So now we should be able to iterate through all of these shapes and add all of them into this compound shape. And then we have the compound shape. Right? So shape type, shape storage in shapes. Then we need to lead to shape in shape storage and do compound shape and shape. Okay, I think that should work. Because that way we only ever have to add the actual kind of primitive collider creation down here and it should function. But let's do this just in case. Step through it bit by bit. So currently it will create an immutable. If I hit simulate, collider entity which has 70. So this is a different entity. We go in here. This is false. It doesn't have one, but it does have this. So we create that. Same thing here. Okay, so we're looking for the entity that has 97 as an entity handle. So this one. Now we should not end up in an infinite loop here, because this is true. So we ignore it, we go in, we do that. Then that's done, so we go through and we add all of the shapes. We create it and we push that back. I like it. It will be so Pikachu face if everything works when I go and drive this thing. Not have time to see if if it looked correct, but I guess relaunch it in release, because that seemed to work. And from a logical standpoint, it should work as well. That definitely seems to have worked. What if we make it mutable? Yep, that works. Now, one problem that is happening here. Yeah, bots done. These freaking bots. Every stream. But yeah, so one subtle issue that is actually happening here, we can't see, is the fact that all of these entities, despite being a part of a compound shape, are having rigid bodies and another box collider created for it. Because we're not checking if they're a part of a compound shape or not. Right? So, what would a good way of checking for that be? Because that is something we have to do in physics C here, right? So what we kind of want to have here is we want to exclude all entities that are part of a compound shape. I could set a flag on each collider that says like, and it will be like an internal flag, so it wouldn't be shown in the UI. That kind of tells us that it's a part of a compound flag, compound shape. it would be a lot more expensive if we had to loop through the entire hierarchy from the bottom up and then check each list. Go away. Okay. We could get a view of all compound shapes here. Loop through all of those. Right. I'm gonna go through. So this is one way we could do it. So we'd have this. We'd go through entity ID inside of this, and we could have like a compounded entities list that we add the entity ID to. And that way, whenever we get here, we could check, you know, is it part of that list? Possibly. Because I sort of don't want to set a flag on each collider here. Because that means we have to keep track and we have to update that flag properly if something changes. Whereas if we just do it in here, then even if we forget to update something, it shouldn't be part of this list anymore. So we have like a we would have this. And then in here, I mean, it does increase the kind of cost of this function, but this particular one should only be called on startup, not during the runtime. So I think I'm okay with doing this. So we can use like find if. And we pass in entity here, and we return entity ID equals entity get UUID, right? And we can say if found is not equal to end, which means we did find it, we continue, because we don't want to do this. And we'd have to check it in here as well. And this means that if it's part of a compounded collider, we should not have this happen. It shouldn't get like another rigid body or anything like that. And I probably should have checked how many actual bodies Jolt created before we did this, but I'm gonna do that afterwards, I think. So it's not happening now? We're not getting those gliders? Why not? Is it magically appearing somewhere else? That's the trigger box, by the way. This didn't work the way I wanted it to. I have a feeling that what's happening here is it's a transform issue, right? Because here we tell it to be this 0, 0, 0 with no rotation, whereas yeah, so it has no idea where it's located here. It thinks that it's somewhere else. And I assume this is in local coordinates. Addition of the sub shape, yeah, sure, but that would be relative to the actor or in world space? Okay. We're gonna need to know where this is gonna be. Let's break this up into multiple lines. No, two joint vector. Translation. Okay. Ah, come on. So I'm about to generate 116,000 lines of code. Damn, Orca. Is it for vertex? Vertex? However you pronounce that. Okay. I know that there is a shape called rotated translated shape, which does have a position and a rotation. So we may make a contextual lookup table for the tokenizer. I'll pretend that I understand what that means. Okay, so we probably want these to be rotated and translated shapes. At least some of the time. No, most of the time actually. Yeah. I think we want that. Actually, do we? So if we look at how we used to do this in physics, under a box collider does have a local post, which is the offset. And the rotation simply is the rotation of the actor. In this case, when we're dealing with this is proving to be annoying. Because we may not want them to always be I mean, an offset, yeah, sure. They should always have an offset. So I guess in that sense, we do need supported. But why isn't this a thing? See, this is where let's try running it again. I need to actually look at it to wrap my head around it. This is where having a it definitely goes through it, right? Queen Princessa, thank you for following so much. Yes, words. Thank you so much for following. Yeah, it just goes through it. And I assume if I remove that, then it does work. Because these have rotations, which typically would be handled by the rigid body, not the collider. So what I think we need to do is that if in this case, we have these box colliders and they're part of a compound shape. Oh, my bad. Wrong entity. Right, so if we have these four colliders, they're part of this compound shape. This actor has a 45-degree rotation, but we want the... Yeah, and this is to rotate 90 degrees from this. Is it though? That looks more like a 45 degree. No. Yes. Because that's forward, so it's 90 degree. Right? So in this case, we need to rotate the shape by that much. And presumably translate it by this much. Because otherwise it will be at this origin. I think. Okay. So we go through and we create them. Are they part? We need to know if belongs to compound shape, which we'll have as false by default. Because if it does belong, we need to actually rotate and translate the colliders. So in this case, it will be true. And here, we want false and true. Same thing here. True, actually no. No. We want false and false. So just call them like that. But here we want this and then true. If we get to here, right, if belongs to compound shape, we need to basically tell it, hey, you're going to be translated and rotated. So, inside here, for the box shape, I'm going to have two constructors. One which takes in just an entity, one which takes in a translation and rotation. Create that. Which will be similar to this, except it's going to create a rotated translated shape. And in this case, yeah, sure, let's still do that. We'll go through and we'll create our... Well, no, we can be a bit more efficient about this because we can do dbh rotated, it's called Jolt physics relation shape rotated translated shape. Which presumably takes in position, rotation, shape settings, which is... Wait, no, those are the settings. So we need to first of all create those settings. Transform shape settings, which takes in position, rotation, shape settings. Okay, so this will stop. Jolt utils to Jolt vector translation. What? Rotation. And then the actual settings, like that. this takes in the settings and takes out the result. So result. And we probably, yeah, exactly. And I just want to check. Okay, good. Now this is complaining because yeah. Because it's not a box shape. I can just do that. Okay, good. Now that means that in here we can say what's up, Agorsic, the swarm. It's going good, I think. Still working on the Jolt gliders. Trying to get it to work properly. And hopefully end up with a better API. So, this would be entity transform translation. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do anything else, let's open up Fork. I need to pull the latest dev changes into here. Pull from dev. Because the rotation stuff has changed. Yes, I imagined this would be an issue. I want to use yes, delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. What's this then? Well, I want to use my stuff here. Yes, I want to use this version. Script glue. I'm just gonna say use mine. Okay, let's unstage. Because now rotation isn't actually technically a thing. It's world transform, yet rotation. Yes. Like that. Oh. Wait, what? Oh no. Wait. Oh, no. I messed up. I messed up bad. Oh, crap. Can I undo? Oh, thank God. I just lost all of the work that I'd done in the last stream because I merged stuff, but hopefully I can do it. Control C this as well. Yes. Oh, that was so scary. What have I already done today? I've pretty much only been working on trying to get compound shape colliders working in Jolt, which is basically a more efficient way of having multiple colliders on a single actor. And I almost just lost all of the work that I had done because I tried to merge stuff without pushing this first. Okay, that's bad. Good. Let's save that. This, you don't see that. Good. Thank you. Here. Yes. Yeah. Fork just yeeted all of my stuff. Okay. What other files? That gave me a heart attack. Physics scene. Yes, good, thank you. Apparently the component got vanished as well. I'm never doing that again. Did it? Yes, good. I love fork, but Jesus Christ. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no, hang on, it may have just nuked all of my changes. No, actually it wouldn't have. Okay, that's good. Any other files? No, not there. Jolt scene, presumably. Yes. I think. What's this changing? Yeah, sure. Let's have that. Thankfully, GitHub Desktop gives me good messages when I try to pull changes that override my current change. Yeah, I don't know. I must have done something dumb when I tried to merge. Or maybe Fork just decided that I didn't want to keep my changes. I don't know. Do we have the... Okay, so there's some stuff that's apparently gone, I guess. But I restored the most important stuff. Just went to buy an ice cream, and when I come back, the worst has happened. Yeah. Also, why my music stop? Stop that. Okay. We're safe, I think, for the most part. There's probably some stuff that I'm gonna have to redo. Let's try building. It's probably not gonna work. Yeah, but it's also part of the reason why it's not gonna work is just due to the merge, not just my stuff getting completely yeeted. Okay. I never want that to happen again. Thank God for Control C. So where's this? Spotlights. What do you mean you don't have them? What's happened here? Did I oh wait. Come on. It didn't, it reverted the transform components. Okay. Thankfully that I can copy across easily. Transform component, let's just copy this entire thing. Okay, let's try that again. Why are you using Monopa scripting engine? Because C# works really nicely as a scripting language. And because of that, we obviously need we need to embed a C# runtime and run that from C++. You can, of course, use core CLR. But the thing is, you have to write a lot more code to get that working. And that's basically one of the biggest reasons why we went with Mono and not core CLR, because we have to write a lot less code. And considering the fact that it's a small, Hazel consists of a very small team, and I'm pretty much the only one working on scripting, I did not feel like spending 6 months writing an API that already exists, basically. My friend offered me an opportunity to test my EV. He also told I shouldn't stop myself, and all I said was, I learned my lesson today. I mean, there are a lot more reasons why we went with Mono, but like I can't even remember all of them at this point. Okay, so what are you complaining about now? Spotlight component isn't a thing. Yes, of course it's not. Let's... I am never ever trying to merge anything ever again. This is our point light component. I'm gonna have to just get this compiling and then pull from dev again. Thank God I still have 2 hours left to stream, because I'm gonna be spending about half an hour fixing this dumb mistake. Also, could someone possibly, like, I don't know if, could someone clip the moment when I realized what I'd done? because I would love to show that to everyone else in the team. What's this? Why are you unhappy? Undefined. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Because I didn't revert this. That's why it's undefined. Did you see the engine that Brendan Green is working on? Don't know. Let me check it out. The Artemis platform. Yep. That's definitely a good name. Who is Brendan Green? PUBG guy. That's cool. Is this thing open source? I doubt it is, but it would be cool if it was. I'm definitely gonna read through that, because that's super interesting. So why are you unhappy? Because I need to revert this, which, yeah, exactly. So now they should be mostly happy, except for this, but that's fine, because we can just do world transform get rotation here. Same thing here. There. Let's try again. It'd be really cool if it was open source, but or at the very least publicly available to use. But I kind of doubt that. Okay, yeah. We need to change this to set rotation. Just use set rotation and not use Euler angles, I think. Because that takes in a quaternion, probably. Yep. What else? Jolt scene. Yep. Set rotation to that. Let's try building again. Right. Yep. This shape get type. Fixed it. That a real thing? Transform multiply. I'm sorry. Who wrote this? That is not the way we write internal calls anymore, as I've made perfectly clear to everyone in the team. Let's go ahead and look at the blame. I suspect it's one lad called 0x. Wrong project. Script core. Source. Oh, would you look at that? I mean, sure, it's in dev, so it can always be fixed, but... Okay, let's take a quick look here. Clips. Let's mute that. Yeah, because I'm doing the merge here. Then I on stage. I come back and... Yeah, this is perfect. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much for that. I'm gonna bookmark that one. Okay. But yeah, again, this is not how we should do this. It's wrong. Thank you so much, Igorzik. I'm definitely gonna be posting that on Discord. Because that was just a perfect moment of realizing that I've messed up and I should rethink all my life choices. I think it's mostly back to normal. That one was just total keko. Yeah. Definitely. I think that's the kind of biggest mistake I've made in like 2 years since working on Hazel. Because Jesus Christ. I don't even know why it decided to just delete all of my changes. I'd saved all the files. When it came to telling it which files to use, I told it use the ones that I have locally. Why are these unresolved kernels? Why? This isn't an unresolved external symbol. Sounds right. Well, I guess it's not implemented here, sure. But why would that matter? Which probably means we need to add it as well. No, it's already been added. Okay, that fixed it apparently. Sure. No, I seriously doubt. Okay, no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna commit all of this and then I'm gonna pull from dev again. Okay. And all of that stuff is there, good. If you're hungry, Tony, you should just go eat. You're gonna be up until 3 AM either way, so you have time. Ready for the next clip. Yeah, hopefully that won't be necessary. Back up in case for my changes again. Let's push for this and then pull from down. Because you know it's true, Tony. Okay, let's pull dev. Because now at least I have it stashed somewhere. Okay, let's push. Because I imagine there were some changes that I didn't get. Or maybe there were. Maybe I got all the changes. I'm gonna have to do a comparison between dev and this one to find any discrepancies. But it works. Cool. Let's close all the files that we're not going to be working on. So let's just close all. Let's open up Jolt scene. Well, let's maybe try and run it. Well, it does load, although I don't think we're serializing spotlights. In fact, there's probably so much code that I need to copy across here. So I wanted to try the new code out and my nose started bleeding for no reason. Now I can't do shit. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so we're doing that. We're now deserializing those again. Good. Okay. Let's get back to Jolt. So, right, it was here. Entity.transform. Translation. Get rotation. Too long. Too long. That's better. Okay, good. So that means add shape will change quite drastically. No, it's actually going to change back to being what it used to be, like that. So we no longer have that. And we no longer have that. Okay, now, what I need to do here is I need to check that, let's do JK shape pointer, native shape. No worries, Egorsic. Have a good rest of your day or night. Thank you for watching, and thank you for clipping that moment. Now, how do I check what kind of shape this actually is? Get subtype, get type maybe. Decorated. Wouldn't it be get sub type instead? Yeah, it would be. So it would be if this is rotated translated. If this is the case, we need native shape to basically be a we need it to be this. A little bit auto pointer here. Transformed. Wait. The trans. Actually, does this account for that automatically? No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Maybe it does, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Translation is equal to transform shape. Get position. Rotation is get rotation. Then we do that. And we want this to be identical. Now I think this might work, if I've understood the problem correctly. Oh. Man, that whole thing actually kind of drained me a bit. So need to give it a compound. Oh, come on. Didn't freaking keep it. Box collider. I could have just pressed Control C, but that would have gotten rid of all the spotlight stuff, which that would have just been annoying. What was this code? Actually, can I do this? I revert that and then do... No. Doesn't want to do it. So in scene somewhere, if it's still there, we had a function, but no longer do. Okay. Osahidre, thank you so much for the follow. Much preach. Okay. I'm gonna have to bring up my previous stream. Because some of the code that I had is gone and won't come back. This one. I don't think I'm showing that code there. Crap. That's annoying. Okay. What we effectively had here is we want something that can populate this vector which means we have to go through all of the children and yeah, exactly. Okay, no, I know what it is now. So we have an STD vector, UID, get all children, const entity, and it was terrible code, but it did work because we have a vector here, or result. We then do for auto child ID in entity children. We did children IDs get all children, so it's a recursive function. Get entity with UUID, child ID. We did result dot reserve, I think. Result dot size plus that size. Then we did result dot insert, result dot end. And that dot end. And we did child ID. Don't get that, you do this. Then you return the result. Not the best way, we should definitely get a way of doing that that is much better. Here we would do component dot that is equal to context get all children entity, and then we want to push back ourselves as well. That's what we had. Good. This was pretty simple. Literally this. It's that good. We had include static children. Probably do static child colliders. It's immutable. And yeah, I'm not gonna bother drawing everything, like all of the entries in that vector. Okay. Just want to check. Yep, good. Now we should hopefully be mostly back to normal. I'm overloading the encoding apparently while building. Yeah, I can actually see the frame rate dropping a bit. But that's fine, I just switched to a new, switched my streaming setup, so that is fine by me. I still have settings to tweak. Also, how's the music? because it looks like it's pretty low if I look at the audio mixer compared to my voice. There we go. Oh, I forgot to begin property grid, but that doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, come on. It got rid of all of my cubes. Well, that's fine, I guess. Let's see if it crashes. Did that work? What did I do? What happened? It gets borked when I select an entity. Okay, when I select a child, entity gets messed up. What happens if I just remove this? Actually, no. Let's keep it and say do not include static child colliders. Actually, that's not going to change anything. But yeah, so this apparently works. Maybe. Seemed like it worked. And property grid there as well. I'm just gonna check real quick in the ragdoll one, if that weird, if the transforms become weird when you select a child entity, or if that's a bug caused by me merging stuff poorly. Let's open up physics test again. Okay, no, it is just me who messed something up. Don't know where. Presumably in the hierarchy panel. Maybe, or maybe an editor layer. Let's copy this entire thing into here. I'm hoping this fixes it. Maybe. No, wait. Wait, did I goof? Yeah, this is the ragdolls one. So we want to copy that over into this one. I'm gonna have to compare the changes eventually either way, but it would be nice if I could just fix this little thing. Nope, didn't fix it. Yeah, either way. Not super important right now. Let's save. It does seem like the compounded colliders are working as they should. Let's just make sure that we actually hit hit this. We don't. Why not? Do that. Oh, I think I know why. I'm pretty sure I know exactly why. Because when we overrode our changes, the copy component stuff disappeared. Yes, they did. Okay, good. Let's go back into prefab. Also, my activity feed here is not updating as it should in Stream Elements. For some reason. Oh no, it's just I haven't tweaked it to show followers. Let's run it. Now we will actually see if my code works or not. I'm betting it won't, but hopefully it does. Still has it, good. It simulate and it doesn't work. Do I just not understand how that intersecting doesn't look like it. Yeah. What's the problem here? Would be great if it could tell me. But it's not. Let's try running it in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's close that. Let's try running it in debug mode. Was that debug mode? Don't tell me it was debug mode, because it didn't tell me anything. Could be that I'm giving it the wrong transform and it should be in world space or something. nothing. Although I think there's a potential bug here. This would make it so that the box collider for the main entity is... I think it should be that. And that should maybe give us the... What on earth was that noise? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I think having that code instead of just true will make it so that the whole collider should at the very least be in the right place. Maybe. I should probably take a look at one of Jolt's examples, to be honest, see how they kind of deal with this. So at least I know which values to pass in where. But I think if I do that, this one should be in the right place. Nope. Guess not. Okay. Do I have the Jolt examples? No, of course I don't. Not there, at least. Let's open up. Guess we're not opening up that. Oh, great. Let's go to their GitHub. Take a look. Samples. Tests. Not the hello world. I'm sure they have one that shows how to do that. Shapes. So this seems to be relative to the actor. Maybe. Because it's not telling me if that's what it wants or not. What if I just give it 0? Like, just do this. It would be great if Jolt had a visual debugger in the same sense that physics has. That would be very helpful. Because then I could actually see where the colliders are. Although I think Jolt has debug rendering thing. Yeah, that's just not doing anything. Maybe it's time that we try and get the debug renderer up and running. Shape draw. That looks like it's gonna be a pain to implement. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look fun. And we have a debug renderer as well in Hazel here, which lets us draw lines and quads. But this doesn't quite do what I want. Okay, I have a theory as to where those colliders could be. But it's also possible that it's not just the translation that's a problem. It could be that I'm doing something else that's incorrect. Because, this is the annoying part, because there's not a lot of good examples on how can I do this specific thing with Jolt. So, if I open this up and we take a look at this, so that's a 12, yada yada. And that changed. But if we take a look here, okay, tell you what, let's just make this big. Turn off bloom. Like that. And let's see if it collides with anything here. No. Okay. So move it over here. Well, so it collides with that trigger thing, but No, it looks crap, yeah. It really does. So I'm just trying to find where these shapes are, if they even exist. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I can't seem to find them. Here's the quick test. Let's just do this. Dang. The auto exposure on my camera's trash. See, this is what I get for trying to make something more efficient. It's not counting it as the I want to check something. Move that other way. Yeah, I don't think the compound shape is colliding properly. Weirdly enough. Probably because we try and use the first shape we find. That could be the problem. Because, good news, I only generated 13,342 lines of code, but it's still 130 kilobytes. Well, it's better than like 100,000. Okay, no, this won't work. We need to check if compound shape not equal to that, or see, this is the funny thing. If this is the case, the first shape needs to be these shapes. And I'm gonna do this just because otherwise we do this, right? So the first shape because we were using the entire wrong thing. We were using the wrong shape basically. That. Yeah, native shape. This could potentially fix it. We could also impose a limitation and say that if you want multiple colliders on a single rigid body, you have to use a compound shape. But I still think storing them like this is better than trying to store a single one. Nice. Let's see if I have any idea whatsoever of what I'm talking about. I just have no clue. What? Oh, no. This is static. I need to do this for the static one as well. Don't like the code duplication here. You're struggling to wrap your head around it, Tony? That's okay, I probably wouldn't understand anything. Man, I'm actually getting kind of tired here. It doesn't work. What? What's going on here? Tell you what, let's do a pro move here. What's this entity called? It's called pole. So let's do no. I don't want to close. Don't close. Don't close. Whew. Thank you. Let's do if entity name find pole not equal. This is how we debug. I think I know what's happening. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I am such a moron. I know why this is happening. It's because in physics scene, we check if these are part of compounded entities, and if they are, we ignore them. And this entity is a part of the compound collider, which means we ignore it. Oh, I'm such a moron. Because, okay. So maybe if this and this entity is not the one that has it, right? So if this and not entity has component, this. Oh, I'm such an idiot. What do you bet all of my code has been functioning? Well, no. I guarantee you it has not. But, Yeah, big brain moment. Sometimes I can be such a goddamn moron. No, I don't think that the rim currently exists properly. No. Well, it probably does, but it's probably in the wrong place. Let's check Disco now. Also, by the way, I don't know if Jan wants me to say this. I mean, I don't see why. I think he has mentioned it before. But I asked him yesterday if we were doing Let 'em Dare again in October, and we are, and I'm really looking forward to it. Because again, I'm probably gonna stream like probably 24 hours. I really do want to do a 24-hour stream during Let 'em Dare. Because last Let 'em Dare I didn't quite hit the 24-hour mark. Staying up late is all I hear. I don't know. When is... I don't know. So Saturday at midnight my time, but the thing is we will have switched to... So we won't be on summertime anymore. So 1 a.m. my time. So it does look like I'm gonna be staying up all night again. You gonna eat now? Okay, what happened here? The hell happened? So we come in here, we create this. That's all fine. Tony, you should participate in Let 'em Dare with Hazard by October. So this calls that somehow. So this exists. What's it trying to destroy here? This? It's trying to destroy the shape? And it fails. Source not available, my ass. What do you mean source not available? I have the source code in this project. Uh-huh. What? I have the source code. How is this any different from this? This works, this doesn't. For the love of Christ. There's no difference. There's no physical difference here. How do they do it? Okay, so they create... Oh, they actually create these settings on the heap and use it as a ref. So maybe try that instead of doing this. So don't have it be a ref. No. So they create that like... So are they saying I should do... And hang on. First of all, that's wrong. So should I actually do this as well? So allocate the box shape. Keep the result up here. Do that. Right, that's what they do. Except they don't actually... No. That's not what they do at all. They do in fact allocate this on the heap. Like that. Although they also allocate these on the heap. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so they do that. And then they do that. They don't actually create the shape directly. But that's kind of what I want to do, though. I want to do this. But maybe this will fix it. Problem here. It's that. Dereference that. Yeah, you should go eat now, Tony. I have no idea why my previous code would crash. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I mean, we've made progress. I think. Let's see if it crashes. No. No, it doesn't. Does it work though? No, they're not in the correct location, but it doesn't crash. Unless I mess something else up. I don't think I have. Because, like, if they're in the wrong location, then that's easy to fix. So if you check this, it does have the compound collider. but we don't actually collide with those guys. Again, just want to see if I can find like a good... No, bring that back up. And we scale it up like this. Okay, no. Yes, eat very nice. Do I even technically... Yes, I do need this. The question is, do I need this? Or will it automatically take care of it for me? Because we obviously do have like a translated shape here. Man, having to learn a physics API from scratch is such a pain. But it's super fun and very interesting to see how Jolt handles things. No, so it doesn't handle. Okay, interesting. Is it not even technically adding the glider? You want to see the damage of 1.6 kilowatt? Yeah, sure. Okay. It did the big spark. I can imagine that, yes. 1.6 kilowatt, that's a decent amount of power, yeah. Let's actually debug this and step through. Hit that. So we grab that, we have all of those. It's immutable, so we create that. We have this one. That is false, that is true. Yes, exactly. The charger over power mode kicked in and stopped it. That's good. That's what you want to have happen. Because boom is not good. Still not working. Why is that? Just gonna try something here. Scene. Get the workspace transform. You actually started a fire in your own home. How? Well, I mean, you do like boom, so I guess that explains it. What did I actually do? I used the world space transform. Don't think that's gonna work either. You're building a moped at minus plus to minus. Awesome, dude. That's what you want. Where are these damn colliders? So as far as I know, this would be relative to the actor. Yes? But if we then specify that here as well, that would be bad, I think. The problem is, if I do this, I assume you live in a house, Tony, and not in an apartment. I need to write some kind of debug renderer that can properly show me where the actual colliders are. At some point. Although I'm not gonna do that tonight. You live in an apartment and started a fire. Awesome. Nice job, dude. Well, still nothing. And if we change this, where am I? I change this back to be that. Will that work? Or am I just completely approaching this in the wrong way? That's also possible. Maybe I shouldn't have a rotated translated thing in like an actual rotated translated shape, but rather only specify that in the compound thing. But this is good, we're learning. Nope. Okay. let's bring this back. But let's say if shape get type equals box. Guess what, I'm just gonna do something hacky here real quick. Just do something hacky. And we'll have a bool, call it as transform. We'll set true translation. I mean, technically we don't even have to do that. Well, we have to do the translation and the rotation here. Like so. I am going to say we do not create this. Instead, we do this, dereference the settings, and we do that. Good. Could be that the scale is off as well. Right. Then we don't do this. Instead we do, and I'll just add a sneak little friend dot this as well as this. Wait. I think I'm getting super tired because I have been modifying the mutable one, but testing with the immutable one. Oh my god, I hate life. Okay, we have this. Let's go to the immutable one and let's try commenting this out. Let's then go into here and check. Okay, good, we use that. That happens from time to time. Markup. Mate, it's happened like 3 times today for me. Jesus Christ. Poor Hazel engineer. Yes. I have it so bad being able to work on this amazing piece of technology and being able, having the freedom of exploring a new piece of technology and actually getting paid to do so and being able to support myself by doing so. I have it so bad. Okay. So let's check this. Move it over there. Move it over here a bit. Okay, that doesn't work. That's fine. We can try stuff. So we go, first things first, let's try using the world transform here, which cannot be a reference entity. try that. Okay, the Peter dumb Hazel engineer gets paid enough for doing dumb. Oh, trust me, I could never be a millionaire off this job. Like, it pays enough to where I can support myself and still have some money left over at the end of the month, but it's... If I put it this way, I would get paid more by a Swedish company, by a Swedish game engine development company, right? But I'm perfectly happy taking whatever salary Jan is willing to give me. Okay, so we try this with a world space transform. No, doesn't work. That's fine. So yeah, it's really good for 3 days a week. So I have an idea here. It could be that the reason why this isn't working at all, no matter what I do, is because of the way that I synchronize stuff. When you put in a good word for me. Sorry to say, but we're currently not hiring anymore. Okay, so there's a possibility that this isn't wrong because actually never mind. This doesn't matter. I can do Tim's job better by complaining more. Yeah, I think you can probably do that. Okay. So let's try that. And up here, we'll do the translation there. So let's add back the translation in here and the rotation. And we'll add in Jolt immutable, that one exactly. Here we will do translation to be translation, rotation to be rotation, right? Then we go back up to this one. And we will do if this, then Jolt box shape. Stop. Do Jolt quaternion. What if we do this? Why do you need to get your moped drivable in less than a week? You got a car, don't you? See if this works. Nope. So none of the options I've tried have worked. Let's debug it then. See if I can pick something up. Let's cross our fingers this new tokenizer works. Yeah. I may have to, I don't know, look into the documentation more, check what's up here. Okay. We do this. We grab that. We say it's immutable, so we create that. We go and we create shapes for entity. Doesn't have that. It does have a box collider, so we check the entity transform, which is the local transform. Yes, exactly. That's a local transform. It belongs to this, so we go and give it. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm also gonna put a breakpoint in here and in here. Hit F5 and come in here. Okay, so that's relative to the actor. This collider size doesn't... Not sure if this is correct. Because that looks very small. Yeah, it doesn't actually look correct. Could this be an issue with the collider size? Maybe. If I just give this particular one a constant 1 there, we run it. It could be this size, because that was like less than 0.1 on the X and Z axes. And like 1 on the Y axis, which is technically not correct. Okay, bots again. Bye. Bye. Can I tweak Moobot, Nightbot to freaking deal with those for me? Because that would be so nice. To be honest, at this point, I'm just kind of trying to tweak everything and hoping that something works, because I've run out of ideas. It's probably a sign that I should head to bed soon. Here's a question. Did we ever actually hit this? And if we do, then this wouldn't have worked either way, because we wouldn't be this type. We do hit this now, which is yeah. So maybe this isn't correct, but this could still be correct. Assuming that I do this, let's do or shape get type equal box. So come down here and we say we want to use this, and we do not want to use this. I have a feeling it's not supposed to be world space, because that wouldn't make any sort of sense. It should be relative to the actor, which we are giving it that, but I think the issue is that we're setting it both on the shape and then on the when we add it. No, we actually get a crash now. For some reason. Which I guess is better than nothing. So we have our shape here. Tries to set that doesn't look right. What is this position? That doesn't look correct in any way. In settings is what? What's the type of in settings? subshape settings, which is coming from in here. So this is the box. It's a box. I is 4. Okay, so something is broke. Badly broken. I'm gonna try and figure out what's wrong with here, and then I'm gonna end the stream after that because I'm tired. That looks good. Sure. That also looks fine. 0, 1, 2. 3. 4. So this is the translation that gets What happens? What's book shape and translation? Oh, is it uninitialized memory or something? Oh, okay, yes, it would be. Because we never said it here. That makes sense. So now it shouldn't crash at least. But I still don't know if it will actually be correct. It's not. Why no correct? Do we get anything in the console? No. Of course not. Why can't I select? Here we go. Again, I'm just checking. Yeah, no. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to look into this a bit more at a later date, probably. Not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm probably just doing something stupid. And it's not telling me what I'm doing that's dumb, so. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. Hopefully I will see you next stream, which will probably be on either Sunday or Monday. I'm gonna try and be more consistent with my streaming and probably set up a schedule as well. But yeah. So either way, thank y'all for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your night / day, and I will see you later. Bye bye.